Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claims victory but remains short of the majority.
Bobby, what must the prophets do right now in the light of this information?
All right. I think one of the greatest needs right now is to awake the church. Actually, we need to wake up the pastors. There's pastors that go, well, there's no real urgency to it. No, there is an urgency. We are in the end of time. We're in the time, getting into the time of the end and the end of time. And that's when the seeds of good and evil both come to full fruit. And we're going to be facing demons and principalities and powers we've not seen before. But I'm telling you from God, God is ready to send the heaven's host to help us. I'm absolutely 1,000% sure of that. On this Day of Atonement for 2021, I'm sitting there waiting. The sun is just going down. This is when the shepherd's rods happen, and it's just going down. The sun is. I'm sitting on my back porch in Moravian Falls, North Carolina, and the sunset is beautiful. There's a golden glow to the sun going in down the mountains there in the western skies. And here's what happened. This so quiet, it's super quiet, like a vacuum. And then all of a sudden, Jim, I hear what sounded like Huey helicopters, loud. I mean loud, right above me. And I looked up, and I didn't see a Huey helicopter. I saw angel forces, army of angels, and they're ready to come and become activated with us if we'll stand for truth. And I'm telling you, angels are ministering spirits sent down to aid us who are the heirs of salvation. Once I got caught up into heaven, now I'll get back on your question. I got caught up into heaven, and they had these great warring angels. I don't know, they look like they could be at least 50 feet tall, massive angels. And here I am. I'm in the courts of heaven. There's these massive angels, and I thought it. I didn't say it. I thought it. I thought to myself, they're standing too far apart. Ooh, when I thought that, every one of these mighty angels, they look like this, down at me with a gaze you couldn't imagine. They look down at me like, who do you think you are to try to instruct us? My thought was, I think they're standing too far apart. They gaze down just like this, and then they turn back like that. And so help me, it's breathtaking. I can feel it right now while I'm talking to you. Shoo! They threw out their wings like this. Just massive wings, and one wing touched the other angel's wings. But under the wings, it was not pinions and feathers. It was like sharp razors of laser light. And here's what's going to happen. These angels are going to come, and they're going to cut pathways through the darkness. Remember, it says deep, dense darkness will cover the nations. Whoosh! These angels will cut pathways through the darkness, and that's when the church will advance. And we've got to walk in the light as he's in the light. And I tell you what, Jim, this is the most exciting time in human history to be alive. And you said something a while ago that's so very imperative and important. We're forging the future our grandchildren will walk in. And here's what God's offering the grandparents right now. It's Isaiah 44, 3 and 4. Isaiah 44, 3 and 4 says, I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, floods upon dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon your descendants, and they will spring up like willows by a fertile river. See, if we're hungry, if we're desperate, if we've got a heart for God, it comes back to our lineage line. And I'm telling you, Psalms 112, verse 2 said, the offspring of the upright will be mighty in the earth. But I like this one. He said, I'll pour my spirit upon your offspring, your descendants, and they'll spring up like willows by a firm river. Over and over in the Bible, God talks about our lineage line. He talks about our children. He talks about our children's children. Deuteronomy 29:29. Deuteronomy 29:29 said, the secret things belong unto the Lord, but the things that are revealed belong unto us and our descendants from now on. Oh, that's why it's so important to get into truth. That's why it's so important to have this prophetic hall. This is why it's so important for the people to get the Bible, get it into their homes. Because listen, God wants the children. The secret things belong to the Lord, but the things that are revealed belong unto us and to our descendants from now on. Deuteronomy 29:29. So I tell you, we're living in perilous, precarious times, but these times have not caught God off guard. He's raising up an army that'll take a stand. He's raising up an army out of the book of Jude. Out of the book of Jude, Jude said, I picked up my pen. I was going to write to you concerning the common salvation, not common in like ABC, but the rudimentary principles of Christianity. That was his intent. But he said, actually, it says in Greek, I was possessed. I found it needful that I'd write unto you that you would earnestly contend for the faith. You and I are going to have to defend truth and defend the faith because certain men have crept in unawares teaching. It doesn't matter how you live. It does matter how you live. That's one thing I like about Jim and Lori. They want truth. They want truth to spout out from this fountain that God has given them there. And I'm telling you, it's worthy of your support. I mean that because the devil wants to muzzle. He doesn't mind limp wrist, pretending Christianity. That doesn't shake up the devil. It's those that know who they are and they know who their God is. But the people that do know their God, they will display strength and they will take action. Daniel 11:32b. And that's why the devil, he doesn't mind these little preachers that don't know anything. I'm just a socialistic. I'm just here. No, listen. God's raising warriors, and we need, as the priests, so the people. If we've got a bunch of cowardly preachers, we'll have a bunch of cowardly sheep in the flock there. We got to be bold and brave, very courageous. We got to take a stand for God because God is standing on us and standing for us if we'll stand for him.